Hello everyone, I've been working on my rainbow resin project some more, and I'm getting really close to finishing it. I haven't had much energy lately, so I haven't had the spoons to film every time I've been working on it, but I just wanted to include you guys on the last few bits and pieces of it because you guys have been with me through this long project journey for a while now, so I wanted to include you guys as much as I could. I've gotten to that point where I just need a few more colors, so I have a lot more trimmings that I can use, and I kind of told myself that I wasn't going to do another one. Not that I don't enjoy it or like the results that I got, but just like this is a big enough project on its own to have a bunch of little ones in between when I haven't really felt like I have much energy. Kind of felt daunting, but after mixing a good amount of UV resin purples together, I have some left over that I'm not going to be able to mix colors in to make the colors that I want to work with for the last few spots. And it's like, it's a good amount. It's a good amount to save, but it's also like not enough for a larger project. So when looking through my molds to figure out which one I'd like to pour it into, I have a lot of molds that are kind of like diamond shape or pendant shape, but I also have these molds that are more like raw, like crystal kind of things, and I have a lot of different sizes of it, which is nice because I can choose kind of the size for how much resin I have left. So I think that this will be a really good size, and I think with the really pretty purple that I have here, it's going to be a good match with the mold. But also, I've been getting these little peelies for when I do the top side of my mat curing. Sometimes it doesn't cure everything on the underside, so I have to clip it and cure that side too, just to make sure that it's fully cured before I put it back in my window. And when I lift it up sometimes to do the back side, it would leave these really interesting like pattern trimmings that I cured on my UV lamp on my silicone mat. So I was able to peel them up like that, and I have a few different colors from when that happened a few times as I was going through my blue, purple, reds. I wasn't really quite sure how I was gonna fit something like this into a mold that doesn't have a bunch of like open space, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna try to like push it in. Like they're fairly malleable because they're so thin, so I'm just gonna try to get as much to like the very tops as I can, and it's okay if they break up because, you know, you get my drift. I was just looking around. I'm trying to think of what would be a good tool to stick some of these trimmings down. I might wouldn't use something like a pencil or a pen, but there's no resin in it, so I won't be wasting anything. I think I'll choose my number 2 as my weapon of choice. And I'm going to start with the most vibrant colors because I'm not sure how many I'll be able to stick these in. Because I do have a few different colors, I'm going to try to push it in a way that some of the colors are just in some of the taller pieces. And I do have a larger version, you know, even after just trying that. I kind of want to grab the larger larger one. Oh look, that's nice. I already brought it for myself. I always like those moments where I forgot I did something and then, oh look at that. So helpful. I am a little bit loopy because it's the middle of the night, but I just couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd work on something. I've struggled with insomnia for a long time now, and I kind of know when I can't sleep, like when it's time to keep trying to sleep anyway, and when it's better to just get up and do something so my brain can kind of process and try again later. So that's what I'm doing. I think I'm definitely gonna go with this bigger mold because I already really like the way it looks. I really like a lot of my resin molds, and as much as I love sharing my resin projects, I think I'm definitely going to take a little break from resin heavy projects just because this took a very long time, and I'm happy to work on it, and I'm glad that it's almost done because I get to share it. I just have a lot of other projects in mind that I'm really excited to share with you guys. Have been for a while, just haven't really had the energy. But it's in the works, so. Fit another one. I really have no idea how this is gonna look, so hopefully it works out, but all my other trimming things have worked out, even the things that I didn't think would, like that lobby ring, and I say worked out, like, I mean functioned at all, because it's just like kind of funny for me how many times I just like try to do things because why not, and then it actually works out. Especially when I'm just working with trimmings, like these are very thin pieces, like it's not that much resin per capita or whatever, but it's just so reusable, and I really try to cut down on waste as much as I can. And when it makes pretty things, it's even more worth it. Some of these I stack together, so they're kind of stuck to each other, which is cool. And there we go. Okay, let's see. I think I'll put a little a little, like I said, middle of the night. Don't think I have my brain on. I think I'll pour clear into the ones that I have stuffed this in, so you can see what kind of pattern we get out of it. And then I'll use the pretty purple that I added. I've been rolling up some of them, but I also want to see in the smaller ones how it looks if I just do little bits. Number 2 pencil so far is a good tool choice. I think this one I'm actually gonna break up a little bit so I can get it into some of the smaller ones. Cool. There we go. Like that much better. What do you guys think? Starting to come together. Yeah, I really miss editing. I wish that it wasn't so hard for me to think right now because the things I'm used to being able to do are kind of more difficult than usual, so trying to do things that I'm not good at and don't know how to do is just kind of a crapshoot right now, unfortunately. But I kind of like doing these videos, like I'm just talking anyway. I've gone back and forth with like writing a skit out for, especially for some of my longer videos, but that would just take so much energy. I don't know how people can do it, like kudos to them, but my goodness. So you just get sleepy, insomniac voice instead. But hey, that's what shorts are for. I don't have to worry about editing with shorts, so. It's like, I keep saying I don't have to worry about editing, but I like genuinely really do love editing. I learned it at a really young age, and I was really proud of it for knowing how to edit and film when I was really young. I was actually, the way it happened is I was in the car when I was much younger, and I heard I come over the radio that there was this local film crew who had their own channel, and they were trying to promote classes because they wanted to train more people how to be producers or how to do camera work, because they wanted to have people that could add to their channel content, whether you bring your own videos or your own, like, I guess, episode ideas. I'm just laughing because it's like what YouTube is now. Like, if YouTube was around when I was doing this, there's no way that they would have been able to compete. But I say that now, and I honestly haven't looked into where they're at recently, which is gonna make me want to do that after talking about it and getting nostalgic about it. But they just wanted more people to be able to also film stuff that they already have, like, you know, what they're already doing. Some of the things that they would film would be like local concerts, or there would be like when there's meetings, like the mayor in your local city, sometimes we would film those meetings. And the more people that they could train to work the cameras and edit and produce, then it was like good for them, good for us. So they offered the classes free, which was great because I certainly wouldn't have been able to afford something like that without that being available. So it wasn't that long of a class. It was only like you had to go there for a couple days, but it was like, I think at least over an hour every time, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're, I think I was 12, but when you're 12 and you have other stuff to do, it's kind of like, TikTok, is this worth it, or was this just a silly idea? But I stuck with it because I genuinely started liking it. And not only did I started liking it, they were really impressed with how much I caught on really quickly, how I kind of seemed to have a knack for it. It really excited them to teach not just another adult who can have more of a skill set, but to nurture that in someone young and see the talent that I have. Was really, it was a really cool experience to be kind of, I don't know, taught and validated in that way. And now that I got a few colors in here, I'm gonna do my clear. Anyway, so yeah, I went through the classes. It went through not only producing and editing, but also camera and audio work. I wish all of this translated to now, because this is a while ago, so all of these programs don't really exist anymore, aren't like how they were, but it really did give me a lot of building blocks. And when I was younger, I was really trying to find any kind of skill or something that I could have, because I really wanted to get out of my home situation. So I just wanted to give myself as much ability to be independent as early as I could. So I passed the class and became a certified producer. I really loved working with them. I loved filming all the concerts that I would otherwise just be watching in the crowd with my local city. And not only like did I get to record and like include kind of fun video bits, like a lot of people would just film like the instruments of people playing, but I kind of like to film things like the children dancing in the front of the stage. It's just not like that's such a cute little like family moment. And if any of their family did happen to catch the channel, then they could tell each other like, oh hey, your kids are on channel 13 or whatever it was, dancing. They look cute. Like they really appreciated those kind of like art I don't even know what to call it, creative filming, I guess, at that point. But not only that, but they also would have to bring this van with all the equipment because they had to edit live. There was no, we're gonna take this back to the station, work on it, and release it. It was airing live, which was the scariest part for me, because when you're on camera and they say, okay, camera 3, we're about to pan to you, and 1, 2, 3, and knowing if it were just going to be edited, I could just mess up and it wouldn't be a problem. But they're telling you your camera's gonna be on, and whatever happens, happens. People are watching. And obviously, it's just for Channel 12, a local whatever, but you want to do a good job, and it's exciting to be picked because I think your shot is dynamic. And even when stuff would go wrong, I tend to have a good response, I guess, maybe because in my life I kind of had a lot of things I had to respond to with maturity, even though I was so young. I even really like doing those dynamic shots where you like zoom in and pan, but most people wouldn't want to do that because they wouldn't want to mess up or have it not be a right like flow. But I could just see like what it would be like if I were to zoom in and pan. So I just couldn't really help myself. And being 12 and on a film crew, like in my local city, I felt really cool about myself in general. But sometimes when they would be filming something, it would either be kind of too low to the ground, or there would just be a lot of people there, in a way that they would have a camera person on top of the van just so that they could get that more like aerial view and actually see the front of the band or orchestra or whatever we're filming. And getting to be up there is like, was kind of a privilege. Like, oh, you've been doing good lately, like, especially because, you know, I'm young and they don't want me to hurt myself climbing up onto a car. But I just really wanted to get to try, because I've seen the like shots that they have gotten off with the van. I'm like, I know I can do a good job if I can have that position. So after working with them for a few times and kind of proving myself, they let me go up on the van a few times, and I just felt so cool in my like teen years to be up on a van in my local city, filming my local band. It just brought me a lot of pride, and I genuinely really enjoyed it. So much so, they're pretty much like, you have a job, like, as soon as you want it. Like, out of high school, like, come here, you have a job, which was really nice. And I might have taken it up, but I also knew the job came with a lot of kind of crap hours. And not the best pay, which wasn't really great for someone who's just starting out their life, so I really did want to stick with it, but my life just went different directions, and I mean, clearly it got me to the day where I have a lot of interest in video and editing, and getting to use those skills that I taught myself is a nice aspect of making and filming this channel. When I did pass the class, it was actually really embarrassing because they didn't tell me about this, but they wrote a article about me being the youngest producer that they had trained, and not only did they write a article, like a newsletter, and actually send it out with my picture, with me holding my certificate. I was just like, I didn't think that, like, because it was a small channel. It was channel 12. Like, I didn't think anyone would ever actually, like, know it was me, that I was that 12-year-old. And it was just like, I was a very socially awkward, shy kid. And I'm like, you put a newsletter out on me? Like, it was very kind and a sweet way to validate the hard work that I put into it, but I was like, oh, I can't believe you guys did that. Not only that, but the way that they ended up telling me about it was, hey, like, you should check out the bulletin, because they sent this newsletter out, but they obviously also posted it to their studio billboard right in the front, so, you know, everyone coming in can see it or whatever. He said, you should check out the bulletin. And I kind of rolled my eyes when they said that, because that bulletin never changed. Like, I already got this newsletter. I already thought that, like, I knew it was already up there. I don't know if they, like, I can't remember exactly how they hid it from me, but they were very sneaky about it. And I was going through the bulletin, kind of rolled my eyes. Like, again, I'm a 12-year-old who's just like, here to do my thing and then head back out, got tests or whatever. So I'm like, why are you having me stand here at this bulletin? And honestly, it was such an awkward amount of time that I think someone, like, eventually gestured, like, to a posting right next to it, and that's when my eyes caught it. I'm like, wait, that's my face. That's me. And I had it in big letters, the youngest producer that we've trained and certified, Shan. Well, it had my old name, which I'm not gonna include, but yeah. I didn't know how to take it at the time, but obviously now I'm, like, very grateful for that experience. I think it's really sweet of them to want to, like, talk about me and tell the world about me, even in a small way like that. Like, it really did mean a lot to me. I just, like, didn't know how to process it at the time as a 12-year-old who didn't think really much about myself, to be validated in that way. Like, honestly, it left a really long, really great impact on me. And at the time, I was like, what have I done? Like, oh my god, are my friends, are my classmates gonna learn about this? Like, why did I do this to myself? But I'm really proud of that 12-year-old, you know? Like, that's not an easy thing to process at any age. And I think I took it in stride. I think I handled it really well because it made me want to keep going with it. It made me want to have that feeling more. And I think that is probably one of the most major times that I've felt like such a true sense of pride. And I think I've been thinking about that lately because this channel really gives me a lot of pride. I'm really proud of myself with how many videos I've made, especially with everything else going in the background of my life. If you guys have had the patience to watch any of my longer videos, and you know how much I've been going through, and to have this channel while all of that is happening has really given me a lot to look forward to. And I'm just really glad to have more of an opportunity to share more of myself. And when it's in the morning or the day at a reasonable hour, I'm pretty sure I'll be finishing this Rainbow Resin Project tomorrow, and I'm just really excited to share it with you guys, as well as the result of my final clippings bonus project, and getting to hang it up to see not only inside but outside. Thanks for sticking with me throughout this project. I never thought it would last this long, but I've gotten really close. And tomorrow we'll finish it. Thanks everyone. I hope you're doing well. Appreciate you guys listening to me through all of this.